Hey, why don't you want to introduce yourself and talk about the position you currently have, what you're
Okay,
doing?
I am the CEO of Cybervore.
Uh-huh.
We are a cybersecurity software company. We do not do services, and what we do is we combine. We provide a next gen solution for protection of data. This is
Uh,
beyond the virus software, the firewalls, the all the castle and moats that protect people's data.
hmm
And our solution is to take the actual data security of the physical data, which only today is protected by encryption, which half of the industry doesn't even do or even know about. And what we do is we combine that with encryption, government recommended, and then we also fragment it. That's our key. That's our world out there is we fragment. So we like to describe it like a puzzle,
hmm
except the puzzle's upside down. So all the pieces are unidentifiable. And we don't make storage and we don't do storage services. So we don't care where you put that. And we just make it easy for you to put it.
mm.
And so those pieces now are unidentifiable. So every document, every spreadsheet, every PDF that's going on out there is now in these pieces that are unidentifiable. As you add more data, your security increases.
hmm
And only the authorized user can actually see that and actually pull it together instantly,
Wow.
transparently. So they don't have to change the way they work, other than they have to identify it's them that is accessing the data. So that's what Fraggle Storm is today.
hmm
We have plans to go forward, but right now it's like a safe repository box for data
mm
that nobody can break through, and including the future, which includes quantum computers, which is the
Oh,
biggest scare.
okay.
So not that today there's extortion, there's all kinds of bad things that are happening. So the big thing now is that cybercrime wants to get the data first and want to steal it.
hmm
So we have a way of protecting that data where it's useless.
Got it.
Okay, the
Cool.
value, okay, is data protection, lower risk, and we're working on also getting your insurance reduced because of that. Inexpensive. It totally runs on a laptop or desktop right now. We can keep it to a couple of $100 a year because we're not using cloud.
hmm
If you want to use it for storage, go ahead. But we right now everything is run from a desktop, and like I said, the performance is beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yep. That
So
answer your question more
yeah,
than you wanted to?
what's that? Yeah. Tell ask or what was that?
I said, is it more than you wanted to know?
No, it's perfect. It gives me the insight into what you're
Yeah.
building over there. So I have an understanding of the product,
Yeah.
what you're targeting, the safety features that you're going
Yeah.
after.
This is what actually you can buy today
Mhm.
through the website. It's
Oh,
available today.
nice. Awesome. What was the biggest challenge you are facing while trying to scale your business?
Well, first of all, we just launched.
hmm
So we have networked within the area. We had to identify the right markets, which because of development took longer than we thought. We had time to do that. And so our biggest challenge is getting the messaging out, all right, obviously, but we network within ourselves,
hmm
within our area. And we find that lawyers,
hmm
accountants, both of them don't trust the cloud and they don't trust anybody else. And they always keep data closer to them. So they really like the idea. Fraggle Storm looks like a, a disk drive. In fact, we
hmm
even call it a disk drive because it acts just like one. We call it a Fraggle drive. And you can have more than one of those. So we have customers that use it for personal and also for business.
Hmm.
and they can be separated and going in two different locations. One in the business, the other was there. So for us, we find that lawyers, accountants, financial services people, and also obviously healthcare. Uh, Today, this is ideal for a small business, probably up to 20 people or less than, right? But it's meant to be right now run from one, uh, laptop for the
Hmm.
most part.
Got it.
Future, future in the future, there'll be many more options that we'll be able to share.
Got it. Cool. Can you share a time where you had a strategy that completely failed and lessons you kind of took from it in product development?
Oh, yeah, Jason, lots of those,
Yeah.
lots of those, and a lot of stories too. But first of all, let me just say my management team, I surrounded myself with some really good people. Unfortunately, we're all older, okay? And that gives us a good background on what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the next step is to fill this company in with younger people.
Mm-hmm.
As far as one, I've learned that it's good to drive, to build a startup takes a lot of effort, and it's in many ways, it feels like an endless job. The guy who runs the company is probably the loneliest position you can be in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as making mistakes, uh, I bought um, a software out of IBM. I raised quite a few $1 million, and it could have been something much bigger, but I relied on the wrong type of people to do so. Uh, and what I'm trying to build is, you know, I have built a team, and teams change, right? Things,
Mm-hmm.
different levels come in and out. I think we're approaching a little bit of that over the next raise. We Also market timing. Uh, and in many cases, and you're in marketing, so you know that marketing can be it's a guess. And as the old saying goes, I'd rather be lucky than smart. I'm very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I monitor my market, and I can tell you right now is the time that I need to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot from the past. I learned that being with the wrong partners, being with the people that making the right deals and conserving the money
Mm-hmm.
that comes out is very important. So yes, sales, marketing, development, customer support, all of those things, you need good people around you to make that happen. You need a village. Okay,
Yeah.
so I hope that answers your question. You
Yeah.
know,
It gives
because
me an idea.
if you keep asking these questions, I'm going to have some alcohol or something like
A couple drinks. Do this over
that.
some whiskey.
No, it is challenging at times, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you run this business, right, Jason?
Yes. Yeah. I run it.
Yeah.
So I have
So
an.
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I've run this. I run other businesses. Stepping in as a CMO in places. I see the ups and downs. Um, and
Yeah.
it brings me to that what you stated is like since hiring is so crucial. Like what mistakes have you made building the team, and then how did you get through those? How did you shift?
Well, I mean, I give a perfect example. Someone recently, a lot of times especially with startups, you try to bring in people that can do the job. I think I know people can do the job. It doesn't mean they can do the job. So sometimes you have to let them go.
Hmm.
And as much as you see it in them, they don't see it in themselves and they don't act on it.
Hmm.
And I don't like to let people go. It's worst part, especially when I know them.
Yeah,
And there's
that's rough.
certain people that, like right now, they're on my team that I'm probably pushed more to advisor than being active. just
Hmm.
because they're doing their little piece right now, which is obviously very important. But once we get past that, because once we raise additional capital, I mean, I'm going to seed now.
Hmm.
I have to get people in here to start really ramping up the revenue. So I got to rely on the outside services. I got to rely on, you know, creating more ARR and then moving to, because this is going to move fast. All
Yeah.
indicators to me right now is that by the end of the year, we're going to be talking more. Yeah, we're going to talk about AI, but we're also going to be talking about quantum computers.
Uh-huh.
That's going to become bigger because it's a threat, and nobody knows what's really going to happen with it. You know, there's a lot of talk out there, but it's not. But when you hear that Microsoft, Google, and AWS in February all announced a quantum computing chip, they're not doing it. You know, they spent a lot of money to get to where they got to.
Yeah.
Now it may be all FUD, but that's where we're sitting right now.
It's interesting what you say about the hiring. So like I was a part of this C-level group called Vistage years ago. And one of the things that
Mhm.
we had taken away is that they were saying you want to hire slow and fire fast. So you put all the resources in to make sure you get the right person. That person comes in because as soon as you invest that time into them and you find out it's wrong, it's even you're just losing a ton of time and money at that point and trying to
Yeah.
find someone else to go through the process again. A question I always liked is knowing what you know now, would you have hired this person? And when I ask other business owners this, and they say they always try and justify their no and why they should keep them a lot of times. But they say no, it's like they have their answer, but they didn't want that to be their answer because sometimes they've been holding on to people for years. And it's like you gotta move on at some point.
Also, Jason, younger people today are not the same. I
Good
don't know if
point.
you have children.
I do.
Okay, so how old?
7.
Okay.
She's not there yet. She's probably not where
No,
you.
okay. Okay, so you're a late bloomer or what? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. We
okay,
we
no,
start a little later.
that's a beautiful age, by the way.
I love
So
it. It's my favorite thing in the world.
yes, it is a beautiful boy, girl.
Girl,
Oh, it's there's
daddy.
nothing like it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I will say that the the graduates that are coming out today are not quite the same work ethic that
Hmm.
I see out there. Now, that's not everybody, obviously.
Right.
And the challenge is to find those people to build that team, not just on the top layer, but on the bottom layer. So it's so I always found that you know I'll hire people obviously older because I know they're able to do the job.
Hmm.
And in many ways, there's a lot of discrimination out there, and but the experience is invaluable
Hmm.
in the world of sales. If they have the contacts, it's unbelievable what you
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah. Having
So
that book for sales is a huge asset that,
yeah,
bringing
but
that on board versus having someone smile and dial until they build their book after 5 or 10 years, being able to
yeah, it
push that
takes
in is huge.
takes a lot.
Yeah.
And so in my book, I say that you know I'm looking for hunters right now.
Hmm.
And right now I'm selling everything through a website. I can go directly to a company,
Hmm.
but right now I'm limited with what I can do. I have a patented technology on that fragmentation piece of it,
Hmm.
but wrapping that all together with today's technology, it all works and it's beautiful. I mean, it
Hmm.
really is beautiful. Um, but I need to develop more so I can get more out there. But I also need to sell what I have today
Hmm.
with the idea of here's the value prop today. Yeah, we're moving in this other direction. And now there's a combination of both value as well as messaging that goes with it.
Right. Yeah, and having multiple marketing channel, multiple sales channels
Mhm.
in play is going to help integrate your campaigns so that way you're hitting people from multiple sides, right? Like you have your
Yep.
back end digital, right? That's running. People go there, you're retargeting, but you have your hunters out there who are trying to build these relationships. And as those relationships build, then they start seeing that as well too. So it's just they're getting hit from all sides. So that way they get that, that confidence and this is the product that we want to at least demo. Like, and are you doing demos? Is that how you're starting it
Well, I am doing
with
demos.
certain companies or
Yeah, I mean
yeah?
the demo, I show I show your disk drives. You don't see my disk drives. I
Hmm.
log in, all of a sudden they appear, and I work as normal. I bring up a 25 megabyte file.
Hmm.
It pops right up. Then I show them, look, it's sitting both in box and Dropbox in two different locations. So try to figure that one out when you have so much unrecognizable data and there's no pattern,
Yeah,
none. So
it's a
that's
big
it.
deal.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's so simple, Jason. It's like, huh? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean,
that's great.
the biggest challenge to this technology right now is that the customer has to make a decision where he wants to put the those puzzle pieces,
Right.
fragmented data or encrypted fragmented data, wherever they want to put it. But once it's set up, you know, that's it. You're done.
Nice. What marketing or growth strategies have you tried that didn't work well?
I've been really direct sales for the most part.
Mm,
This one, I this particular product is the first time I've sold something that can be downloaded and installed in this case. I have spoken with many different people and trying to understand how to mass market this.
mm,
Also reading a lot about it. In many ways, this became a patent, and then there's other patents on top of it, pending patents. The marketing for me is uh, I was not really fully running the company from the beginning.
mhm,
So I was a cog in a wheel in many ways, doing sales. And to me, I was like getting marquee accounts like the New York Stock Exchange, places like Citibank, financial, centers, that type of thing. And even now, I mean, I'm reaching out to some of my connections. Um, since we operate just on a laptop, we're not in the enterprise space.
mhm,
So our marketing has to be towards the endpoints. Now, the only good part about that, it's very busy up here in the enterprise area. Down at the endpoints or all the laptops and desktops, they're you're directly connected with the user, which is
mm,
a good thing. And you also have an opportunity to work with the service providers, the managed service providers, because we do software, they do services.
mhm,
So in the beginning, we're selling individuals or people are going to the website and buying it directly, or someone's coming and says, look, I need a license for 10 of these, and can you do a discount? And yes, we can do that. That is where we're sitting today. But once we go to MSP support, and we have about 5 of them right now, but they need a better way to control and send down they package it with the rest of their stuff, their customer software, and then they download it into their machines because that's how they manage it. And there's 8, 10 different management systems out
mm.
there. So what we're trying to do is work with a few to get the first step, and then we'll make something common that that we can now attach many more of them, that type of thing. So, but the first step out of the door now, not we build up our base here, customer service, which is a lot of AI right now. It will be situated there, building up that 70 something customers that we have today. But then once we go across the nation, we want to have the MSPs to be able to make money with that too, because then we don't have to support it.
Hmm.
And we would share some of the revenue with them, obviously. Plus, they would get possibly new, they would have something different, right? They
Hmm.
don't have if you're a service company, MSP, yeah, we provide, this, that, and a lot of them, it's all the same. So it's the people you end up liking. If you have Fraggle Storm, you have something that is different, that's more secure, that brings you beyond just encrypting the data alone. And you're also starting to look for the protection of a quantum computing shield. So you have something else to talk about. But to get to that point, they have to be able to manage all of that. Now, the best part of all of this is that I have a few MSPs that one is managing 50 customers. I got another one that's managing 500 customers. I have one that's managing 30,000 customers. And I have not customers, but endpoints.
Hmm.
And then I have one that I'm working with now that has 13,000 businesses, which could be, let's say, 10 people each, right? In each one of those businesses. So 13,000 becomes 130,000 end users. If they manage that, yeah, I'll share revenue with them, and also I'll help promote them, and I'll help market them, and that kind of fits in there. And if we can do that, we may be in a very good position to take this, much bigger. And just to give you an idea, today there's roughly about 7,000 MSPs in the country,
Hmm.
and that's forecasted to go over 10,000 by the end of the decade.
Mm.
So
About
we're
market.
talking millions.
Yeah.
So we have to, get the AI in there. We have to get the other uh, options or features, such as resiliency, availability, all these type of things that customers need and want. And that's where we're going. So,
Got it. Cool. Um, how are you building your sales pipeline and generating leads right now?
well, we signed up with HubSpot.
Hmm.
We also doing a little bit of LinkedIn.
Hmm.
We are working with networking groups in the area, which has been very successful. And right at this point, that's enough. And then I got investors that are giving me things to jump over, and they're not sophisticated, so
Hmm.
they they don't get it. I mean,
Yeah.
they get it, they hope, but they're a pain in the ass. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Here's a little bit of money, and I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be on you. Be all over
Yeah,
you
I
for a
mean,
while.
I understand them because they
Yeah.
don't know, and they they're at the point where they're like, well, we put money in. It's like, this is long term. This is something that, first of all, if I do $1 million in ARR,
Hmm.
valuations are right now for these type of companies is between 10 to 15 times ARR valuation. It's that crazy.
Wow.
So, you know, I don't know what's going to happen, whether someone's going to buy us, whatever we can buy. I can't get involved in that, and I'm sure mine. Once I get to a seed, I'm hoping that it's with a more sophisticated um, investor that will provide more support, not only monetarily but also
Hmm.
market-wise.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Um, and are you using AI, and what AI are you using?
Okay, I'm using AI right now,
Hmm.
open AI right at this moment. Uh, and we're using it to, first thing is to simplify customer service. Uh, as I mentioned, we have Fraggle Storm is the name of the product line.
Hmm.
The different features in it. The first feature is the Fraggle Drive, right?
Hmm.
Fragmentation, Fraggle Drive, simplicity. Of course, we have to give it a name. So our AI bot will be called Fraggy.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
Fraggy, okay, Fraggy, uh, we are, and we've already proved this, is just we're finishing our documentation. Instead of a customer reading through documentation, if they want to add something or, waiting for answers and all that, we're dumping all this into an AI bot initially. So let's say they want to, as I mentioned, you can have more than one Fraggle drive. So they decide, well, I want to set up another Fraggle drive for this particular business. Well, then how do I do that? So instead of opening the manuals and do whatever, I just ask a question. How do I add the Fraggle drive? And it gives them a nice, neat little step-by-step scenario. Boom. Saves a lot of time, makes a lot of people happy. The next step after that is AI comes in and starts to do it for them. It walks them through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also can start connecting outside. AI is also going to be used for identity and also working with the other software packages like your virus software, your intrusion detection, your firewalls. So if they detect a problem, that Fraggle drive, which is your gateway to your data, gets shut off. So if there is an infection that's going on and it gets recognized, while the user's there, it can be cut right off, stopping the infection. And that will come in handy because those puzzle pieces are intelligent. So they can recognize whether or not what has been infected or not and can replace them with a follow-on feature, which we call versioning. Yeah.
Doing big things.
Well, okay. I mean, I feel we have a lot more to do. So, but I thank you.
Yeah, it never ends, right? Like it's just going to continue.
And it's fine. I can't wait to get out there and start talking about it more
Mm-hmm.
in a public thing, even videos, that type.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, that's good. And what the hell are you going to do for me?
Here, I'll add here the study part, but let's move into that.